This video I'm going to take a look at and install the DuraBox D100 through the wall drop slot. So I bought this used, but I was told it has everything in it, which is the 2 metal pieces along with 8 Phillips head screws. The drop slot or chute is designed to have the outside metal piece fit inside the piece that goes into the building, so anything that is put into the slot doesn't catch on it. The dimension in between the chute is around 4.5 inches, with the inside piece flange measuring around 11.125 wide and the outside piece flange measuring around 13 inches wide by 4 inches tall, which is about as tall as the inside piece flange, and around 10 inches wide for the chute that goes through the wall with an offset of around 4 inches. I'll measure up on the outside wall to determine how high I want the chute to be, and then I just take an educated guess at where I think the next joist over is, so I make a mental note of where I want to drill my first hole. Then I'll use an 1.25-inch spade bit to drill a couple of holes along with a hacksaw to cut out in between so I can locate exactly where the joists are to avoid them. Now I'll put the outside chute piece up and eyeball the spacing from the bottom of the siding and make marks all the way around so I know where to cut. Then I'll take my circular saw and cut the bottom and top lines, making sure I don't go too far past the ends where the flange won't cover up the cuts. Next I'll use my spade bit again to drill near both of the ends so I can fit the hacksaw blade inside to cut the rest out. Now I'll feel around for anything that might prevent the chute from going through, and then start cutting the bottom of the hole at an angle so the chute will fit down inside of it. Then I'll try to shove the piece that goes on the outside through the hole, but it won't twist up so the flange is flat against the wall, so I decide to cut the top hole a little higher. So I end up with a hole that's around 2.25 inches tall, and that seems to be enough to get the piece in all the way so the flange is flat against the outside wall. Now I just need to put the screws in all the way around through the flange, and I'm done with the outside. This area of the porch has a roof over it, so I didn't bother using caulk to seal it up, but I would recommend doing that so rain won't pour down inside. I'm also planning to redo the siding at this property, so this is really just temporary until I can afford to fix up the outside. Now I need a way to figure out where I need to cut the hole inside, so I'm going to use a really long drill bit to drill through the wall using the bottom of the chute as a guide for the angle I need. The bit ends up chipping the paint inside the chute a little though, so it might get some rust later on if you decide to do it the same way. So now on the inside wall, I'll use a level at the bottom of the lowest hole to create my first cut mark. Then I'll use the piece for the inside as a template to create the top and side marks and check to find out it wasn't level, so I'll create a new mark to go by at the top. Next I'll use my spade bit to drill holes on the ends, and then use my circular saw again to cut on the bottom and top marks, which ends up being enough to let me tear out the hole. Now I'll pull out all the insulation that's in the way and feel around to figure out how much more I need to cut. Then I'll use my circular saw to cut up a little more, and then the hacksaw to cut the sides and top wood at an angle until I think I can insert the next piece. So I'll try inserting it and figure out the hole isn't wide enough, so I cut out more, try inserting the piece again, and still need to cut out more at the top before it will fit. I decide to use a chisel and hammer to try to chip out some wood that is preventing me from inserting the inside piece over the outside piece, which seems to do the job, but the flange was twisted quite a bit. So I try using the hacksaw to smooth out the wood above the chute, thinking maybe it was pushing one side down, but it was still twisted for some reason. I decided to try forcing the piece level with the screws, so I put one in the top of the lower side, and then another at an angle on the opposite side bottom, which forces it down, but creates a gap at the top corner. Then I think I was hitting a nail or something because I couldn't get the top corner to screw in at all, so I just put the bottom screw in on the other side and tried to hammer it into shape, which ends up bending the corner flange over. So I end up just inserting the screw in at an angle and leaving the gap for now, since I'm planning to build a fireproof enclosure on the inside just in case kids decide it might be funny to put fireworks or something flammable through here. Hopefully it's just going to be mail until I get that enclosure built though. Hopefully this video has helped, and feel free to ask any questions that you still may have in the comments. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe for more quick and on-point videos.